Okay, so quick question from one of the group members about the G center. Wondering, let me just read it. So the G center is like a compass, and if I don't follow it or feel lost, does this mean I am not following my strategy and authority? Precisely, yes, this is exactly what it means. Strategy and authority is the way that you stay on track. And what does strategy and authority do? You'll notice no matter what type you are, no matter how your energy works, your aura works, when you follow the specific strategy and authority that's particular to you, it removes authoritative decision-making power from the mind or the personality, and essentially gets the mind to sit back in its rightful place, which is as an observer, or what we call in human design as a passenger consciousness. So the mind is, when it's properly functioning, is supposed to kind of step back and just watch the body have its life. We give the decision-making power to the body and to the intelligence of the form, which when we do that, the mind stops interfering. It just gets to watch the movie of life and experience the movie of life, and it sits back, and it allows the magnetic monopole, which is that single-poled magnet that hooks you up to your trajectory in life, i.e. we're all moving through space. Everything has its geometrical fractal line that it's expanding towards, and the magnetic monopole is the thing. It's like, if you imagine a tram or a tram car, it's like the arm that hooks up to the geometry or your life path. And the more you relax and release control and surrender to your authoritative inner authoritative process, i.e. the more you relax away from controlling your life, the more you relax into yourself, your true self, that's what allows this G center, which is the center of direction, which is where the magnetic monopole resides, allows it to kind of take you automatically to your correct trajectory in life. It is the driver. The mind is the passenger. The body or the form is the vehicle. Okay. So that's kind of how that works. And your strategy and authority is the way that is best for you to keep you aligned with your true self, so you don't go off track. Anytime the mind comes into it and jumps in the driver's seat again, that's when we go off track. That's when we hit resistance. And we have the four main not self themes, we call them, for each type, that are a signpost that you've gone off track and that you're using the mind again to make decisions in your life and to run your life instead of having ease and flow, right? When you hit resistance, there's four major themes: frustration, bitterness, anger, and disappointment. For the generator aura type, it's frustration. When a generator starts to initiate and take too much action and try to control the direction of their life and try and force their perceived timing of life onto reality, they hit resistance and they get frustrated because they can't seem to make that thing happen. They just hit resistance. It's frustration. That's the signpost. It's the key theme that says, okay, I'm not in integrity with my truth. I've gone off track. I've gone into the mind. I'm not seeing clearly. I'm not perceiving clearly. I'm not thinking correctly. I'm transferring, what we call it in human design. You see, when you then surrender back into yourself, you release control from the mind and you allow your body to drive again, you then start to see correctly. You start to see what you're supposed to see. You start to experience what you're supposed to experience, and you gain your intelligence back, because you aren't your intelligence, your perception, your motivations that aren't distorted anymore because of this not self lens that was kind of distorting your correct view, your correct way to see reality and to perceive incoming information, perceive reality coming in. So this is all very technical. you know, if you're a manifestor type, your not self theme is anger, right? If you're a projector, the not self theme is bitterness. If you are a reflector, the not self theme is disappointment. So these are all telltale signs you've gone off track. Now, when you are on track, and you are living correctly, and you start to experience things running smoothly with no resistance and everything just working out, then the generator experiences their signature, which is satisfaction. The manifestor experiences their signature, which is peace. The projector experiences success, and the reflector experiences surprise, the feeling of surprise, delight, that kind of thing. So each type has its own signature theme, and what this is when you are experiencing your signature theme for your type, that is the purest expression of spirit for you. You know, that's the if the whole point of existence, from the point of view of human design and from a lot of spiritual traditions, is to endow form with consciousness. It's to bring consciousness into form, right? Endow form with consciousness. The way that's done through each person is through their signature theme. So when a generator is walking around feeling satisfied and fulfilled, and their open and enveloping aura is just touching everything and spreading that joy and like fulfillment to everything around them and everything they're building and creating in this world, that's the highest expression of their spirit. For a projector, when they experience success, that's the unique expression of their highest potential of their spirit expressing itself in form, right? The manifestor, it's peace. The reflector, it's surprise. So what strategy and authority does is it keeps you on your trajectory, primarily because it takes the power away from the mind. So the mind finally sits back where it's supposed to be and just observes as the passenger. And it's in that release of control that your inner guidance system, the magnetic monopole, starts to take the driver's seat again and starts to bring you back into alignment, so you can start to have attract the life that's correct for you, that will bring you your signature theme, whatever that is. So that's how that kind of works. Yeah. Again, any more questions about anything I've said, feel free to reach out or post a comment on this, and I'll just keep adding more and more. That's the kind of, I'm a pure sacral generator, so I'm here to respond. So questions are great, because if I was to just start initiating and talking about what I think I should be talking about and posting about, that's when I hit resistance. So there's me, aligning with my strategy and authority is to wait for things to respond to, and then I put my energy into that. That's when I experience satisfaction, and fulfillment. That's how I am fulfilled in this life. Yeah. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.